Alright, welcome back to Off Topic.
We saying?
Yeah, we're back and we've got our cameraman on, or you friends, Surf. Welcome, Surf, to Off Topic. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm literally just.
How's the journey here?
The journey here? Oh man, it was stressful.
Traffic,
Journey
for the next room.
I had to get out of my bed actually.
No way! What was the last thing than that?
Yeah, but Surf, you're a student just like us, final year student at Warwick.
That's it.
Studying history.
Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah, that's it.
Why did you decide to come to the other side today? What was the change?
I was always gonna do it.
At some
to be
point,
fair, it was always gonna happen.
Yeah.
But it's literally just like, I mean, even when you guys first started this thing and you guys were the first talking about it.
Yeah.
I remember I just constantly speak to Adnan about it. And it was just like all it is just three guys talking.
Yeah, facts.
About their opinion, and it's like
literally
it's just so true, and it's such a good thing to have in like your life. Do you know what I mean? Especially now during lockdown, there's literally nothing to do.
I actually look forward to every Friday. It's probably one of my favorite days of the week now.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely my most productive day.
Yeah, facts.
See, everything happening. It's definitely my most productive.
Yeah, it has to be.
I do the most on Fridays because we're filming and stuff.
Yeah,
no, it's definitely different.
Yeah,
out here, so it's nice.
Nah, but what do you think of the entire podcast environment? I mean, you obviously you're big into podcasts. You love watching a Joe Rogan.
Of course, I do love my Joe Rogan. So it's like I actually just love podcasts. Like it's not even on like a little look at me, I love podcast thing, but it's like literally I just can't get enough of them. So like here having a chance just to literally just chat.
Is there a podcast that you recommend to people?
Joe Rogan, man.
Have you heard about it? Joe Rogan. He's actually quite good. Yeah, he's
Joe Rogan. Nice, off topic, bro. That's what you gotta be recommending. Off topic. There we go.
Right
off topic.
You didn't get the joke. You
we were waiting for off topic and Joe Rogan came.
Joe Rogan, get out of here, man. Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Nah, but
Here we are.
We have a lot of thoughts to dive into, a lot of opinions, a lot of stuff happened this week.
This has been a really interesting week. I think it's been a bit of a change away from finally. We're not going. We still got the whole like crypto, all that side of things.
All of it's happening.
It's all happening. But
new vaccine news.
I've got like so much shit written down. We have so much to discuss. But before we jump into it, make sure you hit the subscribe button.
Definitely.
Keep sharing the video, man. Like, keep sharing with all your friends.
It's crazy.
So we're trying to increase our subscriber count, but make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you leave a like, and in the comments, just let us know topics that you want us to discuss and stuff, and we'll discuss it.
Definitely.
But hopefully you stick to the end.
Yeah.
Let's jump right into it.
Yeah. Into it. Facts.
On the topic of podcasts, actually, like one of the biggest reasons why, so that I actually got influenced by Sif to start watching podcasts like Joe Rogan and stuff. It's like one thing I would really say is that podcasts help a lot with like maintaining a good mental health and good fitness as such. It's like obviously lockdown closed gyms. All of us are gym freaks here. We got Hamid behind the camera. He's a big gym freak. We got Denizan, big gym freak. So we're all into like working out and stuff like that. It's like gyms have obviously closed because of COVID. So what have you guys been doing to like keep up with your health, your mental health,
ordering
physical health?
that is my mental health. My mental health is being preserved by the 25% off codes at this
Most
point.
definitely.
Definitely.
Uber, if you're watching this,
Uber.
You got wonders for mental health. I promise you.
Yeah, and definitely one place which you don't like, Just Eat. Fuck
Eat.
Just Eat. I don't care even if I get a sponsor on Just Eat, but fuck Just Eat. I actually hate Just Eat. They still have my food. I'm looking at this camera.
You want to explain what happened?
But they still have my food. Basically, me and Denizan actually, the first week of this term, we ordered Just Eat. What did you order? KFC, right?
Yeah.
Or McDonald's, KFC. We ordered KFC. The guy came literally outside the door. He stood outside the door for like 2 minutes, and I'm just looking on the map. I'm like, if he's gonna call me now, he's gonna knock on the door, presses he says it's delivered, and then just drives off. Man. And then I go outside, and I literally see his car just go, and I'm just standing there like, oh shit, my food's gone. And then I called up. No, the worst part is, fair enough, the driver took my food, but the Just Eat call center, the worst call center I've ever.
Yeah, Just Eat have awful customer service.
Awful. Like it's so bad. Like I remember we called them up and they were like, yeah, we'll send it to the investigations team and this and that.
You never seen that.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? Yeah, all of these food companies, because they've got such a mad monopoly on the market, they all have terrible customer service. And how they keep you, and they just keep you coming back because they give you just all these discounts. That's the reason why I use Uber Eats over Just Eat, because like Just Eat just has no discounts. Uber Eats, say what you want.
Uber Eats.
I can't get away from them.
But it's the delivery though. The
But
delivery on Uber Eats sometimes a shag.
Yeah.
It's those emails.
So
innit?
expensive.
Yeah,
Everyone loves those emails.
I feel like they're so scummy with their fees nowadays as well because they charge you a service fee.
Yeah, like a little
and they
service
charge
fee
you
as
a
well,
delivery fee as well.
Oh, we're actually vets in the game when it comes
Yeah,
to Uber
facts.
Eats.
Come on.
Like, we've got a streak. We've actually got a streak.
That's it now. Ordered food every day the past 2 weeks?
Yeah,
2.5 weeks.
near enough.
Struggling.
My-
If you want to send me money, send it. PayPal will be in the
Reached the point
description.
where I was so, like the other day I ordered twice, and I was considering just ordering a third time just for this.
No. We've actually made a blanket rule for this house
Yeah.
that you can't order more than
Yeah.
twice. If you
Yeah,
order
like
more than twice, you're like
Sometimes.
finished.
But what about it's about mental health, bro? You got to preserve yourself,
Yeah.
innit? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Order what you like.
Order what you like.
What you like,
Order what you like when you like.
What you like.
No, but it's like I order so much to preserve my mental health, then I look at my bank account, my mental health just goes falling down. I'm just like, oh fuck, my money's
Well,
gone.
on the plus side, when you think about it, because now you're restricted for the stuff that you can do. So like, think about the money that you would have spent on like going out and stuff.
Yeah,
You're spending on.
That's very true.
that's what Will was
Yeah.
saying. To be fair.
Yeah.
It's like we order so much.
What'd you say?
Is that how you make
That's how I get past. That's what I get for every single day.
That's how I sleep at night.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
actually
yeah,
how-
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, we like. In all fairness, you know, we all got student loans. Like, we're not going.
Yeah, I got
out,
student
We're
loan.
not
Yeah,
taking cabs or anything like that. We're literally
Yeah.
indoors and we're just chilling.
yeah, facts.
Yeah, we have a lot of money to spend.
Yeah, facts.
So Uber Eats.
Especially now the
Yeah,
crypto landing.
It's a good day.
It's a good day.
good day.
It's a
It's
I'm out of that,
been a good
man.
couple of days.
I'm out of it. I'm out of crypto.
You're out of crypto.
I've retired.
You've
Hello,
retired,
buddy.
bro.
Nobody told me you're back in though.
I've retired. I've retired. I've retired.
me you're back in though.
Retired. I keep my portfolio secret. No one knows.
Fair enough,
It's
fair
private. No one knows where I've invested. But yeah, coming back to the topic of fitness, health.
Yeah, just like
Um,
we talking about like things to do during lockdown. just
Yeah,
to
look,
benefit
what have you guys been
mental
doing?
health
Have you
and
like home workouts? This,
This
that.
term, nothing.
Really?
This term,
Yeah,
nothing.
this term has just been so long.
It's just consistency. Like that's the one thing I struggle with the most.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I know how many Dennis are looking at me. But they know like
Oh, is
consistency.
somebody looking at you?
Yeah.
I don't think somebody's looking at
Nah. Consistency is actually the worst thing. Like
you. Yeah, facts.
it's like like every Monday you think, okay, it's Monday. I'm gonna work out today. It's gonna be an amazing week. I'm gonna have like such a productive week of working out, keeping a fixed schedule. And you reach Wednesday, and your body is sore from Monday, and you're just there like, oh shit, I have to work out. Now it's just it turns out to be the longest thing, and you just think, oh,
See,
I just don't want to work out now.
that's-
And then you just crumble off the routine, and then you just give up.
Yeah,
And then you
like-
just start again every Monday. You start again on Monday.
That's the thing with workouts. It's like
Yeah.
once if you get back into it after a long time, like you get DOMS, so like delayed onset muscle soreness. So
Yeah.
it's meant to kill if you
Yeah.
haven't like hit weights in a long time,
Yeah,
whatever.
fair enough.
Yeah.
But it's like as soon as you get through that, it's like I know like a way I cope like with getting through that is I bought like a little pocket pad, like a little journal.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
just write down everything. It's literally like, it looks so messy, but it's like it just has all my sets, has everything, and every time that I look at it and I think, right, I haven't, it's like a visual representation of you haven't worked out in 4 days.
Yeah.
Like it's literally as if it's telling me, like get the fuck up, what you doing? Like,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
work out. So it's like writing things down, such a good way to
Yeah,
actually
definitely.
get into a
Maintaining
routine
a
and
diary.
like that.
Yeah, I actually do that on my phone, Like there'll be like so many I told you about this, like there'll be so many times where you just think of like the maddest idea or like just the maddest thought and then you just write it down and it's just there in my notes. Like just
Yeah.
somewhere in my notes just preserved that oh yeah, this was my thought at that time.
Yeah,
But that's it.
crazy thing. Isn't it?
Nahid, what do you do to preserve
Do
your
you know
mental
what?
health?
Like, bro, my mental health is just. I feel like just.
Yeah, it's okay.
At this point,
Ignore the
I'm
loss. Ignore the loss.
Yeah,
ignore the loss.
yeah, yeah. Like, at this point, I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to get through life and just get my disso out the way, just get these modules out the way.
Get a job.
Yeah. That's on a little hiatus, but
Yeah,
I'm just trying to get.
definitely.
I'm just.
Grab job though.
What'd you say?
Off topic, grad job.
Grad job.
Application starting soon.
Come on. We're actually looking for internships.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty mad, One day I'd actually love to give someone an
off topic
internship.
internship.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Well, what are they gonna do?
I don't know, like
Just
some
come and
editing
sell.
or some-
Would you pay them?
What'd you say?
You pay them.
Yeah, that is one thing I'm very big on. I feel like
Paid intern-
unpaid
topic
internships are so scummy.
Yeah,
If you're not
definitely.
gonna give someone like a hourly wage, give them like a stipend at least. If
Yeah,
you're gonna make them work
100%.
for you, at least make their time worthwhile.
100%.
Is there the claim, like just play devil's advocate, but like the only like because they're not doing enough work.
Yeah.
So it's like on like a contractual obligation, you're not
Yeah.
giving me enough work for me to warrant to pay you.
Yeah.
Because
fair
you're
enough.
an internship, like as in like actual. Like what's actually like actual difference to the company
Yeah.
would be incredibly minimal, especially if it's like a week or something.
Yeah, fair enough.
Do you think like
I think if you're a company who's got, here's what it comes down to. If you're a company who's got the resources to do it, you should do it. Because I know there's a lot of companies out there who have the resources to do it. They've got the ability to do it, but they don't because they can get away with it.
most definitely?
Especially if they're like a smaller company, like the people, I think a lot of mindset they have it. Oh, it's still experience. It's better than nothing.
Yeah, but sometimes like in unpaid internships, they could exploit you because you might be putting so much value into their business, but they're just not paying you for it.
That yeah, definitely. That I think yeah, definitely.
Like I feel like if you're doing an internship, then it should be paid like all the time.
Yeah,
because you're actually putting value into someone's business.
Yeah, facts.
And
if you're not like, don't bring someone on if you've not got enough work to give them.
Yeah.
If you're getting paid, that's one case, but especially if you're not getting paid.
Nah, even if you're getting paid, you should still be doing work.
Yeah, no, I hear that,
encourage
but
just
like
getting paid
sometimes
and
it's
not
just like
work.
some internships are just token, innit? They're just it's just something they give it to you because one for them it's beneficial to have interns, so they can say, oh crap, we've got interns, and then for you can get a bit of experience, and they realize it's a mutual relationship. Like they're both getting something out of it.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Internships.
Yeah, internships.
All up for that.
Screw the job market, man. It's actually crazy.
It is,
man.
man.
It's a mess these
Did you
days.
see? I saw this week Amsterdam's overtaken London as the hub for like the financial center of Europe.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that actually.
Yeah.
Like London's not
Not
the
complaining.
London's not the financial capital.
Yeah, I think all of these companies are moving all their firms over to
For
Amsterdam.
Brexit.
I don't know. I reckon in the long term they'll probably all move back here anyway. It's all just virtue signaling. They're just trying to make a point.
Oh, there we go. That's it for the
Nahid's agenda.
episode.
Like long term, eventually
virtue
the
signaling.
like the UK's gonna become a tax haven. All these financial like
A
companies.
tax haven.
Yeah, facts. And you think what they're not gonna bring these financial companies back?
I
They
don't
have to
think so.
bring
You
them
know. I don't think the UK is going to become a tax haven.
Nah,
Yeah,
they'll turn into a little
A tax haven's far fetched. Bro, UK tax regulation is so strict.
You studied this? Yeah. Of course. Tell me about it.
I study it. I study tax.
But I reckon I definitely think because one thing about London is it's been renowned for being the hub of like sort of banking,
financial,
finance, and as they've invested so much money into the whole district and just making it such a big part of like British culture.
That's what it all is, right? Financial services.
Yeah, financial
That's
services.
literally the place.
Yeah,
London,
they
New
literally
York's the
built
place.
entire areas for this. So
Yeah.
I reckon they'd be if there's ever a situation where companies are actually leaving, they won't because they're just virtue signaling, trying to make a point out of it. But if there ever is a situation like that, they'll like create like tax levies to bring them back. Like that's
Tax havens, that's crazy to think about.
yeah.
I don't think the UK would ever be a tax haven.
I don't know. They'll find a way.
On the topic of like all these big companies, financial firms and stuff, it's an interesting question actually. So, the companies that won during COVID, and by win I mean, like they didn't suffer financially. Do you reckon they should share their profits with the people that lost out?
See, this is very interesting because you know what I've just seen this week. There's calls for a 1% online sales tax.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this?
No, I actually haven't.
So it's like companies like Amazon, Ocado, all these big companies that have thrived during, like, because everyone's stuck at home.
Yeah, lockdown.
There's calls for like an online sales tax just to be applied to those companies. And they've come out and said that no, it's going to affect our businesses. And I don't know. I reckon it's
As in, like companies like.
Yeah, these big. So I think it was Ocado came out. The Ocado CEO and he came out and he said we don't want this. I think he was complaining about like it might.
No, obviously, I don't think anyone would.
Of course, they don't want it, but I genuinely think it's something that we should. Amazon especially, because Amazon love to not pay their taxes.
Amazon's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think that's definitely something that should be entertained.
Yeah. Like, I most definitely do agree on the basis that, though, because you look at something like Amazon, it's like they're only going to profit from something like this. Like it's as if the pandemic came as a blessing.
Yeah, it was a
mean?
blessing
Like,
for them, innit?
But let's say it was the opposite. Let's say tomorrow the internet shut down, all these online platforms lost their business. So would the non-digital platforms share their profits with the people they're losing? Would it be the case?
I think it's two different scales.
Well, it's tax. It depends. It's tax, innit? That's what it comes down to. It's like, I mean, if there's one thing that's for certain is that capitalism is not good at redistributing wealth. So odds of this happening are just very, very slim anyway.
Yeah.
But I reckon at least
it wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't happen. But I reckon I think it should be entertained.
What, to share their profits with?
Not share profits, but I think like a specific online sales tax should be something that definitely should be entertained.
Yeah, definitely.
I reckon like. Do you reckon people get? I reckon people would get behind it. I don't see why people would not get behind
Online
it.
sales tax. They wouldn't get behind it purely on the basis that it would increase the price for them.
Yeah.
So that's if the company decides to increase. Yeah.
So an online sales tax, it would just create a recurring increase in
No,
price.
it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be on your purchase. I think it'd be against the company directly. So it's like what the taxes they pay right now. They have to pay like if they're registered as like an online business or predominantly on. I don't know how they do it, but I'm guessing.
No, but irrespective, if their cost is going up, then they're going to increase the price of the product.
I mean, they
the
probably
consumer.
use the tax as like a scapegoat to increase the price.
Yeah, facts. I definitely would have. Yeah.
I don't know actually if it would be beneficial or not. Because you always have to see like the both sides to it.
Tax is being raised, isn't it? So it's like
tax.
More money for I don't know. Hopefully
more money for what? The military.
More for the military. Yeah. And what £5 flipping free school meals? That was scandal. Yeah. I think there's one thing for certain is that I'm sure if there was sales tax being added, I can't say for certain that it would be managed properly.
Like with any tax.
Like with any tax. Yeah.
Well, why do you reckon that's the case?
You know why. You know why. Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't think we should get into it.
Yeah.
What the government is doing with our taxes.
Facts. That's a story for a different day.
Yeah.
Yeah. What has happened this week?
What has happened? Think about this, okay? So you know we're talking about crypto.
Yeah.
Crypto markets, this and that, and so would you consider investing in cryptocurrency is exactly the same as gambling?
Yeah.
On the condition.
Yeah.
That let's say you bet on like just a football game or you bet in a casino, you have, I would say personally that you have more knowledge betting on a football game than you have investing in crypto, purely based on that crypto is purely run on what the hype is.
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing. So like, investing in crypto. So what do you mean by that? So does that
like trendy? So what even we do, or so like, and people are doing across the world.
The thing is with crypto's become it's become a commodity to invest in. Like in itself, you're buying a piece of a currency.
But is it just? Is it not just?
But it's the same as like starting. It's the same as like starting a restaurant. That's how I see it. Because it's like you're owning like an asset. It is an asset. If you own one Bitcoin, it's an asset. If you own a restaurant, it's an asset. And it's like starting a restaurant and hoping to turn a profit off that. Is that a gamble?
That's a gamble, but there's a lot more certainty in it because you have a lot more knowledge.
Plus, there's things you can do. That's why it's
okay.
It's more of a
fair enough.
Nice
no, as in so. In terms of your restaurant example, so let's say I want to set up a restaurant in London.
Okay.
I know London's a busy place. Central London's a busy place. I know there's going to be demand for my restaurant, this, that. So I know I'm going to turn a profit because people are going to come to my restaurant. In regard to crypto, you're purely basing your investment off what people are saying on Twitter or Reddit or this and that.
But then that's the thing, isn't it? Like, should we dissect what people say on Twitter more than what you're making out to be? So it's like, it is like, so especially the coins like Bitcoin and Doge. It's based off of hype, isn't it? Like that's how you make your money. Like that's how we've made our money. It's based off Twitter hype. So it's not as if you're picking some random coin. I mean, maybe you are, but it's not as if we're picking some random coin and thinking, right, please blow. It's as if like, okay, we can see some sort of trend. Yeah. Right? It's obviously none of us are like know this shit.
And that's what I'm saying. It's just a gamble. Like you're just gambling at casino.
Yeah.
It's like saying, let's say you're playing roulette. And you're just there like, oh, the last three turns were red. So now I see a trend that it's going to be a red. So the fourth one's going to be a red. So let me just put on the red.
Thing is, I hear that, but I think the reason, especially, it depends. If you're going to buy into a crypto expecting it to go up in price so you can sell it later on when it's gone up, I wouldn't say that's a gamble. Where I'd say become gambling is if you get involved with like futures and then like CFDs, etc., where you're literally betting on the price of it value of it going up and down. You don't own the underlying asset itself. Which where you're shorting it and you're longing it. Like I think that is definitely gambling. I wouldn't necessarily call buying into crypto gambling.
I would, you know.
But again, there's the whole thing is like you take a
Actually
gamble
would.
with anything.
It is a
innit?
gamble.
Yeah.
It's gambling.
Yeah, I definitely think like so crypto is way more gambling than stocks.
Yeah.
Like,
Facts. There's
yeah.
so much more certainty.
Yeah.
It's more short term.
Because stocks, you have knowledge of it. You have knowledge of what the company's doing.
Yeah, facts.
If like yesterday, I think Bumble had the IPO.
Like,
you just know it's gonna go up.
You have that knowledge about crypto, but the only difference is crypto is just so much more easier to manipulate nowadays because one, I feel like there's less information available, and two, because a lot of this stuff is just so cheap. It's easy to manipulate.
And it's misleading. Like it could be misleading. I'm not saying it is misleading. What people could say on Twitter, you could just see a tweet and be like, "Oh, this guy's saying buy whatever XRP, Doge, whatever." And you just tell, "Oh shit, I need to buy Doge," and you buy it, and then suddenly it drops.
Yeah.
So you just lost your money.
I think
it's a gamble, right?
Yeah, I think you have to contextualize it because when you contextualize it, it is. Well, take it for what it is. It's a form of decentralized finance. No one really knows what's going on with it. It's not backed up by anything. No one controls the money supply. Some of them don't even have a supply. They just have unlimited supplies.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't actually know what's going on. Fair enough. Yeah. So you will never know if it's going to go up or not. But I still don't think it's a gamble.
That is the gamble, though, isn't it?
Like, I think it's
a gamble.
You don't know.
But I don't think I'd call it gambling.
I think it is gambling. You know, I think like crypto, like the crypto market is like a virtual currency playground where you're just playing with your money, investing here, there, and you're just hoping the price is going to go up. Then you pull out your money and you invest somewhere else. And then all these platforms like Coinbase, Binance and stuff, they're just making money off you. It's like a casino. They're just taking a commission off you. You're winning.
Okay, fair enough.
That's
and
it.
Like, I suppose if we're looking at the gambling aspect of it purely as a form of greed, like how many times have we like looked at a coin and thought, oh, keep going, and then thought, and then screwed up when we're like, oh, okay, we should have sold it here.
Yeah, exactly.
Greedy.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, on that regard, I'd accept it, but I feel like I'm just being a bit more tied down to the actual wording of it. I think if you come from like a regulatory point of view, it wouldn't be gambling. In that sense, it wouldn't be gambling. But I understand what you mean.
What do you mean by regulatory?
So if it was like if it came down to like I don't know regulating this market, the actual exchanges where you can buy and sell crypto, they wouldn't be counted as gambling. But
then it's more certain if it's regulated.
What are you saying?
Like if crypto was regulated, is that what you're saying? If crypto was regulated, then it wouldn't be gambling.
Not necessarily, because it depends what the regulations actually do. It's like I reckon, it just generally just depends what the regulations do. But if I was coming from like a regulatory point perspective, and I was coming to regulate it, like the actual process of buying and selling crypto, I wouldn't count that as gambling. Because if you count that as gambling, then even like the stock market, you'd have to some degree. Yeah, I think you have to let people know.
It is definitely.
You have to let people know the capital
in some sense gambling.
Yeah. Because the difference is like in terms of the warnings that you get when you're investing into the stock market, they will tell you your capital is at risk. Yeah. Like don't invest if you don't know what you're doing. And then when you go to like walk into a casino, and they'll tell you like this is gambling. Like they've got to be gambler aware. I think that's what it just breaks down to.
Yeah.
I think it's a social stigmas around it as well. Maybe that's why. Like when I think of gambling, I'm thinking of casinos,
Las Vegas,
etc.
Las Vegas.
No hope left.
That's what I'm thinking of.
It's not really considered gambling because, as you said, dictated by hype.
The
variables that be. As not a gamble.
I think that's funny.
Literally, of a certain coin TRX when we bought into it literally shot up in price because of a tweet from Neo and Lindsay Lohan. What these are doing now?
Even like we were talking about earlier, the power Elon Musk has. Like to control the price of Bitcoin and stuff.
Yeah, bro, I saw this guy tweet yesterday. It's the year of the ox, and you know how much that pissed me off. I don't think because there's
it's the year of the ox.
No, it's the year of the ox. But this guy's duplicit is a shit. Like, so there's a crypto called Ox and Xerox, and then this guy, man. So deep this whole time he's not spoken about it. And then suddenly he decides to tweet. Thing is, fair enough. Today is the year of the ox. Don't get me wrong.
It is the year of the ox.
Yeah, it is the year of the ox. But we all know what the hell he.
Crazy that the influence on people have. Like.
Yeah, it's basically this is like just how fugazi it is. It's just so fake. It's just like the fact that someone can tweet like Happy New Year, this year of the ox, and some flipping crypto is just going crazy because
people went rich and broke off of it.
Yeah, facts. Like people, it literally changed people's lives.
Yeah, exactly. Rich and broke. Sif just said people went rich and broke of it.
Yeah.
So isn't that just a gamble?
Every time
gamble.
Well, it depends how much you want to put into it as well.
Yeah.
It's
I'm wondering. So, do you guys find like like, so the moral aspect of selling at a high,
Yeah.
and then in essence screwing over loads of people
Yeah.
who were holding,
Yeah.
and then they then have to,
Rebuild.
they then have to completely rebuild.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a moral
Dilemma.
like, should I have sold at that high?
Nah, it's a free market. Like it's like if you bought it and you made a loss at it, like this is a personal decision that you've taken. What?
Yeah, fair
I
enough.
don't know. I just thought you were sounding awfully leftist before. And then, like, free market, make your money.
Yeah, you know what? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm all for socialism, but there's a buck to be made. I'm also a young man. I've got a lot to
Dirty
do. I wanna
capitalist.
do-
We know you.
Yeah.
Who's the virtue signaler now?
Yeah, but I've said this before. Everyone's a virtue signaler, man. Like, but sometimes some virtue signalers just have to get called up.
Some worse than others.
Some worse than others.
Definitely.
But I do think that's an important point, though.
Yeah.
So, like, you dictate your own odds when it does come to crypto. It's all like the risk you are prepared to take.
Yeah, facts.
Mm.
Facts.
Hey, do you dictate your own odds?
Yeah, it depends how much you put in,
To
innit?
some extent.
Yeah, it depends how much you put in firstly, but
Yeah,
I feel
that's what
like your odds are purely determined based off the hype.
Nah,
The
not
other
necessarily.
people
I reckon you can increase your odds
Yeah.
if you do your research at certain times. If there's a lot of stuff that you
You can
do.
only increase your odds if you're famous enough to leverage enough people to investing into
Yeah,
the coin.
that's
you're investing
okay. Yeah,
into.
that fair enough. But
So
I
like
think,
Elon Musk has,
yeah, all these followers.
Yeah.
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 like he can influence the price of this and that. So
No, I hear
he's-
that.
Like he can determine his own odds
Yeah.
for Bitcoin
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Because he can literally tweet out, "Oh, Bitcoin this that, Doge to the moon," and the
Yeah,
company-
well, I guess that
the
reflects
price is
just
gonna
the
go up.
whole fugazi nature of it. It's just
Yeah.
like it's just about
Literally.
hype, innit?
And it's like even I try to make an attempt to try to read trends and find an altcoin that no
Yeah.
one knew
Yeah.
about, and it like, so the ones I did invested did eventually blow up. I just got lucky. Like, there's no other way. There's no.
Yeah,
Like,
just
I'm
lucky.
not like some G. I just got lucky.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's it. That's why I think like it's a pure gamble. Like
Yeah.
deep in, we're just all we're like a herd of sheep.
Yeah,
We're just following like the
yeah,
leader who like all these famous people that are tweeting about this and that, and we're just there like, oh yeah, shit.
like, do you know what it is?
That.
It's like, cause
Like you're just blindly following them because they're just saying it.
it's what's become of the market. So like the whole point of it, it's not meant to, you know, Bitcoin wasn't invented so this could become a thing. It was invented for you to make untraceable, like quick payments on over the internet, no matter where you are in the world. And the fact that it's become like this is, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just deep to now.
I feel like it highlights a lot of issues. You know, like the entire crypto market is fuck no, it's deregulated for a reason.
It's deregulated because the government haven't been able to get their hands on it yet. No
yeah.
one knows enough about it.
Definitely that, but it's also deregulated to help amateur traders like us make a few bucks off
Yeah.
crypto and this and
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
But it also highlights an important issue, and that's inequality in wealth. Our deregulated market is literally showing how amateur
Yeah.
traders are so low compared to all these hedge
Yeah.
funds and all these companies now stepping into the crypto market
Yeah.
and determining the price.
Yeah.
And we're just following them like
There's
blind
nothing
sheep.
new. Like institutional
That's
investors
it.
have always had the power because they've got the capital, and two, they have the influence. They've got the insider trading. They know what's going on.
But this isn't just institutional investors. This is Reddit. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
this can be Reddit. This can be Twitter. This
Yeah,
can
but
be.
And this isn't even insider trading either.
Yeah.
It's purely just I have more money than you, so I'm gonna pump so
Yeah.
much money into this coin or
But
crypto.
that's the thing, innit? It's
to
like
boost up the
when
price.
you've got like a Reddit page, they're acting as a one large body. They're acting as equivalent to like an institutional investor, and it's all about capital. Who's got the most capital? Because you can manipulate.
It's
it. That's all
literally
about.
that, and
It's
that just highlights inequality in wealth. Like
yeah.
the rich are always just going to succeed way more than the poor because they just have more resources
Yeah.
to invest in that coin. It's like saying all these big companies and hedge funds, they're like rocket ships, and you're just a passenger on it.
Yeah.
You're just riding it. They're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna invest in this coin. I'll tweet about it. Now jump on the rocket before
Yeah.
you're too late. That's it. That's purely it. And as amateur traders, we'll see the tweet and we'll be like, oh yeah, let me jump on that rocket. Let me make like a few
Yeah.
£50 while they're
But that's
making
just
like
but that's just
5-6 million off it.
No, I hear that, but it's just the general nature of like capitalism, innit? It's just like any sort of opportunity, it's always just going to be like that.
Isn't this like a really like seductive form of capitalism? Like,
Yeah, it's a very
like
exactly.
like, don't, like
definitely.
as much as I can talk about crypto, I love it. Like, I absolutely
Yeah.
love it. It's like I made money from it. Like, I'm gonna love it. Like, I'm literally like.
It's exactly like Sif point like highlighted it very well. It's a seductive way of capitalism.
It's like every time you sell, just know that someone is at a loss. Someone is at a loss when you sell at a high price.
Mm-hmm.
But oh well.
But then every time you wear a piece of clothing, someone from Nike or something, like, someone making that.
It's all a chain. Capitalism is.
You just got to feed into the system.
Nah, you don't.
If you want to benefit from it. I'll die on this hill.
This is a good segue actually into an interesting video we saw on TikTok. And even though TikTok is a really bad app, I don't recommend using it because it can be very distracting. It does sometimes provide some interesting points and facts that you actually you think about. And yeah, I was reading about this thing. It's called terror management theory. So think of this, yeah, because like as humans, we're the only species on this planet that can ponder the future. So we can think about, we know we have a future and we know we have a past. So
How do
we
you
can
know that for a fact?
We don't, but let's say based on the scientific research that has been done, this is the theory they've come up with. That's why it's a theory. It's not a fact. But yeah, they say that humans are the only species that can ponder the future and the past. And because as human beings, we know we're going to die. Other animals don't know they're going to die. As humans, we know we're going to die eventually. So, and the anxiety of dying stresses us out so much that we have to achieve something. So we have to have titles, awards, these labels, basically all these awards to reduce that anxiety of we're eventually just gonna die.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the terror management theory was basically we need material things to feel a sense of immortality in a world where as humans you know you're gonna die, like you know you're not immortal, but you have to create all these different material things like titles, awards, money, stuff like that to just give you a sense of immortality, to make you feel like you're not gonna die.
I think to some degree, but
Yeah,
I think
it's
I think it's more down just comes. It like
Terror
I think it's
management.
more down
What do you
just
actually think of that?
I think you know what it is. It's like historically, like there's always a system, like especially the titles thing. There's always going to be some level of inequality in any society you live in, and like we create all of these things to create like a hierarchy of power. And I think that's just what it comes down to. Like give your life purpose, because you say what you want, like you may think you'll be alright with just going around doing whatever you want, but you need someone to tell you what to do. So you create all of these positions, all these things, power. It's just about feeding power, creating a system that works.
Yeah, that's
just
true.
coping through life, isn't it? It's just getting by.
Yeah, like I do to an extent agree with the aspect that we do need materialistic things to, like a sense of immortality. Probably, if you like dissect it so much, you'd eventually reach that point, right? But I do agree with the fact that we always look to do something. Like there's always that nature in us, right? We have to do something. We're animals. At the end of the day, like it's always the fact that we have to do something, and it's like. If you look at what's glorified in media or by education or just growing up, it's get a job, make money, so you can do this materialistic shit that you really want to do
until you die.
You know, like
until you die.
Yeah, until you die.
Yeah.
But then that's when it's like the big, I suppose, the big importance of like virtuous things like love and happiness and all of that. In which case, you know, I guess like. You know, when I was younger, it was very much, especially when you grow up poor, it's like you equate things like success to happiness. So you think you equate things like happiness to success.
Yeah.
So, and of course, success for us is money. So it's like
it's a visible.
Yeah. It's like something like, all right, we need to do this, then we can be happy. Yeah. Then we can, and why are we being happy? Because we've got this materialistic shit that we can afford.
Yeah.
But. You know, we realised that, I suppose we've had loads of discussions about this just like on the topic of happiness in general, but it's like, it's not necessarily doing materialistic things, but I suppose what you're literally doing, as in like the concept of being on this earth right now, and just it being a blessed thing, and you don't really need materialistic things. I suppose it's one thing that we've been trying to do, especially even things like with this podcast and everything.
Yeah.
It's something to do, but this right now.
It's purely by way of expression. It's not for materialistic
Yeah,
thing.
it's form of expression. That's exactly what you put it.
Definitely.
But it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Like, if you think about it, like,
it's quite pessimistic, isn't it?
yeah, it is very
It's quite a
pessimistic.
cynical way of looking at things.
It's very pessimistic because you're creating that negative mindset that, oh shit, you have to come to the realization that you're gonna die. But at the same time, I feel like the material things we've created for life as humans, like, I don't know, the divide that we've created, it doesn't accommodate, it doesn't satisfy everyone's anxiety that they're eventually gonna die. It only satisfies a few. Like, it only cures a few, like the richer class or the upper class.
That's why you got heroin, isn't it?
That's crazy. I don't know. I don't know. That's related need. But,
that's a good point. Like,
But like the thing is, why does like the concept of death have such like negative connotation? Like, would you want to be immortal if you were like given a chance?
I actually
Just,
wouldn't.
like, live forever.
You would.
But I wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
Is it like that bad to die? That's
I'll-
bad.
Like the end of things, isn't it? It's like you want to accomplish a lot of things before you die.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes
Yeah.
down to, that ambition.
Mm.
Like there's like I don't know. I'd be quite upset if I died anyway.
Yeah,
I feel I got like quite a lot of stuff left to do.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, definitely.
No, not right now. But like, let's say like you lived a full life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as in he's saying,
Yeah.
would you actually consider the idea of being immortal? Imagine if you just
Yeah.
never could die. Like,
nah,
I would hate
couldn't do
that. I would hate that.
I couldn't. Bro, imagine like always seeing all your friends die just
Yeah,
while you're
facts.
just
Yeah.
make new friends. But like,
There's the loyalty. Yeah, like 100 years down the line, we'll be filming off topic and
Yeah.
we'll probably be dead and still be like, standing. Like, yeah, leader. There's
Same
fucking
house,
dead,
same
like,
house,
same-
same
house.
no, could you imagine just reliving every year?
Yeah, that's
especially
long.
like how last
I
year
actually
went. It's
couldn't.
like,
That is long.
I actually couldn't.
If you could, like, I always think about like, there's so many TV shows and movies out there where there's a character who's immortal. They're just never happy.
Yeah.
Like, when how many of them
not,
happy?
They just what was that? There was like a book and a film, Dorian Gray. The picture of Dorian Gray. No one's seen it.
Nah,
Yeah,
actually,
can't
I
lie.
haven't.
Just move
I've
on.
heard
Let's
of
go.
Nah, I haven't. You know.
Like, it's just the concept of
I'll
someone who
definitely
can't
add it.
die.
I'll definitely add
Yeah.
it.
Like it's just a guy who can't die, and he's like completely overwhelmed by like his libido. So like
Yeah.
completely overwhelmed by lust, things like that. And it's
Oh,
like
shit.
you do lose like virtuous things if like that's the whole point of death, isn't it?
Yeah, it becomes meaningless, isn't it?
Like you want to grow old, like things
Yeah.
grow old. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Especially
Yeah,
when
it's
it
all
comes to like
perspective as well.
like things, just like virtual things like happiness, love. Eventually, you just like you've experienced it so many times. It's how can you?
yeah, like imagine seeing your wife die, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
like-
like,
Oh, yeah,
like,
that'd be
while
crazy.
you just stay.
Yeah, then you just get another one. Maybe. Then that one dies.
They just get another one. Just keep getting
Yeah.
another one. Nah, but I feel like on the concept of like dying and stuff, it's also because of what religion teaches you, right? So obviously, like, we're all three of us here is following Muslims, but it's like in Islam they teach you, right, that like you're after death, whatever. If you've done good deeds and stuff, you go to heaven and stuff. And it's like the concept of that you're going to a much better place after you die. Then obviously you would hope that you
Yeah.
die and you reach that better place where you like reconnect with everyone that was in your life and everyone before that.
Yeah.
See,
So
like that's what I really like about religion. Like, irrespective of whether you agree on whether afterlife exists or not,
yeah,
it's you have to realize like things like people like our mums and dads who haven't like because they've not been exposed to so much social media, they don't necessarily have a developed sense of consciousness.
yeah,
Do you see what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like all they really have is their religion kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they fall back on that. It gives them solace.
Yeah.
It gives them
Yeah.
happiness in like times of grief.
I feel like on this topic actually, terror management theory, you could actually argue that religion is just a form of. It's a thing that reduces that anxiety, right?
There's a whole thing about that.
Niche.
Yeah. From Nietzsche, it's like it's been developed. It's called cognitive science of religion, and it's like people like religion is a thing, and it's always just been a thing because you just need something to look forward to, something to just get through your days.
Yeah.
Yeah, fairs.
And it's a very natural human thing to do. It's the same reason. It's quite interesting because it doesn't matter like what you follow, how you follow it. Everyone's got this like religious people have this one people in common. It's like there's always a bigger picture, and it's like just get through it now, And
I just think it's a thought
there'll
process
be
just to
ups and
get you
downs.
through life.
Yeah.
It's just a way of life that will
Yeah.
help. Like religion is just, it's like an assistant to your life.
Yeah.
It's
It is
just
a way of
there.
life, yeah.
And it's like helping you get through things. Like you always think like, oh, if your day's going bad, you just pray your day will be better.
Yeah.
Do this, your day will be better. This and that. Like
Yeah.
you pray and your day will be better.
Yeah.
Mentally, you'll be a lot calmer,
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
and you'll be in that zone. That, okay, no,
Yeah.
I've prayed. I'm
That's-
happy. I'm content.
That's why, I understand if you want to debate the topic of religion, and if I'm debating an atheist, but like people like militant atheists, they're the worst, man. It's
Yeah,
like
facts.
Militant atheist.
yeah, so it's idea like
yeah.
it's just, you just effectively like you really want to push this agenda of like religion is awful, like there's nothing good with it at all. There's nothing associated. It's like, you know, if you kind of have to grow up if you have that mentality, in the
Yeah.
sense that it's so inherent with culture and it's so inherent with a person's happiness.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's what some
yeah.
people neglect. Like deep the amount of people that are just like relied on like just religion just to get them through to such
Life,
bad situations.
Exactly.
And like if even their like whether their economic situation at the time is awful, it's like one thing you can rely on. Is say a prayer to get through it. That's
Yeah.
it. Say a prayer to get through it. I mean,
I just think it's that like it's just it gives you that sense of immortality that we're talking about. And even though like religion teaches you about after death and stuff, like in the current moment, it gives you that sense of immortality. Like you'll pray and you'll feel on top of the world.
Yeah,
You're like
facts,
God
yeah.
is with me. Like
Yeah.
God is by my side and He's gonna help me get through this bad situation. That's why I'm gonna pray. It's just that feeling you get in it, and they just. It's that sense of immortality
Yeah.
that breaks the anxiety that oh shit, my life is not worthless. I'm not just a piece of shit just sitting on
Yeah.
earth living my life
Fuck
till I
it.
die,
You okay there?
wasting my time away.
what are you?
I think it's interesting. I think this whole topic is very interesting nowadays, especially like because nowadays like there's just not much to do. You're stuck at home, just doing the same things over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have to. You need something to
Have
do.
you been praying 5 times a day, Nahid?
Try my best.
Yeah, definitely. I actually do, you know.
Yeah, you've been very.
I
on
pray
it,
5
haven't
times a
Yeah.
day. Of course,
you? I try.
always gotta stay committed to God.
Come on.
But yeah, how much time do you have left? Maybe
About 2 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
I always ask the question when we have 20 minutes left.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
clock
that's
this.
close now.
Yeah, 20 minutes. 20 minutes to discuss quite a bit actually. We've got some stuff to cover.
What's next? Another.
You know, one thing I was okay. So today I started watching Mr. Robot today.
Yeah.
And,
Mr. Robot, the Ryan Malik.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sick. And then without getting any spoilers away, I was just something happened in it. Just made me think: how many like legal businesses are just a front for like something illegal? Like how many? How many big legal businesses?
Oh, you big legal businesses.
Yeah.
Like what scale we talking?
Like any, I don't know. It's one that everyone always talks about. Is like ShoeZone. Like how the hell are they still in business?
yeah, jeez.
Like
Wait, shoe owners.
ShoeZone. Have you heard of ShoeZone?
Wait, shoes own.
ShoeZone. Like
ShoeZone.
shoe. and
Oh,
then
shoe zone.
Yeah,
Shoe
yeah,
zone.
yeah.
See, this is the thing. Like, do you want to get it? Because it's all about, you know, ShoeZone was an affordable
Yeah.
pair of shoes. That's really what they
Yeah,
brought.
that's literally what it
And we
is,
can take the
yeah,
piss as
yeah.
much as we want, but like we would come across as like elitist pricks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
I feel like
Like no, I used to get my shoes from ShoeZone.
yeah, I used to get a shoe as well. But like even when, you know, I do kind of see what you mean in the sense that
It's just a funny
how
thing
are
to
they
think about,
so
isn't it?
long standing? Man?
Yeah.
Like,
It's like out of all the British like old British retailers left, ShoeZone is actually one of the last ones standing.
yeah.
And I think
Yeah,
that's so funny.
It
Just
probably
in
might
shoes.
go in, like it probably will go into administration.
Bro, who knows? Or depends how many like if they run
File for brand.
if they run out of
yeah.
drugs to clean, then potentially. But you know, until that happens,
That's a ball claim.
who
Nahid.
knows?
Very ball
I don't
claim.
know. We're gonna get like slapped with a cheeky little lawsuit from
Yeah,
ShoeZone.
Yeah, lawsuit.
Yeah, facts.
Um,
But yeah, just think about how many big businesses are there.
Big businesses.
Yeah.
Bro? Amazon's doing the most.
Yeah. I think the most obvious ones are like definitely the big banks. They're probably all just involved. No, the fact that they're all involved in.
They're all
some
involved,
dodgy-
man.
Although we can't say anything for future hiring.
Yeah, not KPMG. Not KPMG. They're
Not
never involved in
KPMG
anything
at
illegal,
all.
are they? Never at all.
nah.
Do you hear this is something I know because you want to speak about this. So today KPMG, the UK's KPMG's CEO got fired because he told his staff stop moaning after they've been given like pay rises.
Wait, the UK's What, CEO of KPMG?
Yeah.
Got fired.
He got fired. Oh no, not fired. He's resigning. So he's resigning.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, and that happened after he told his workers like to stop moaning.
That's crazy.
And it made me think of like financial service workers actually slightly got bust during this whole like pandemic. So did he deserve to get fired for telling them to stop moaning?
So was it on the basis of they wanted higher?
No. I think they were
wages
just
or got pay cuts?
they were just moaning about like the current work situations, and then he just told them stop moaning.
There you go.
I don't know the full details, but like the
Well,
articles that I've read, they were quite vague on it. But that seems to be the general gist of things.
I'm actually trying to pull up an article here,
Yeah.
which was pretty similar to this topic, because obviously KPMG boss he's resigning on like a controversial topic, like employees are
Yeah.
moaning and stuff, and
Like it's a controversial topic, but it has like if it is a situation. Okay, here's the thing, because I don't know what workers they are, but if it's like proper KPMG workers and they're being told like and they're complaining about it, like yeah, fair enough. Like stop moaning. like true say you man are in like the top tax brackets etc.
Yeah.
Like why are you moaning? Like just do your work and move on with your life.
Yeah, like in the sense that if it is those in
It's like like man's resigning because he said stop moaning. I find that so funny because I think nowadays, of course, it's very important to like look after like your workers, like mental health, etc. Especially now that people are working from home. I don't know, like I feel like if the bag's big enough, sometimes just like what can you do in it? You gotta firm it sometimes.
just stop moaning.
Just stop moaning. So you got fired for that. I think which leads nice ones.
It leads into a nice segue actually on the topic of firing. But yeah, there was this teacher, like I'm literally just reading this article, but there was this teacher at Eton, which is a pretty famous school, I would say, in the UK.
It's not that famous, is it?
Well, I mean, I'm not even from here. But yeah, he got fired from Eton because he uploaded this 33-minute YouTube video titled The Patriarchy Paradox. And it was basically controversial, and it got a lot of hate, which resulted in him getting fired actually, because it was attacking, or it was claimed to be attacking, current radical feminist orthodoxy, and it celebrated men's traditional role as protectors of women. So it's basically the idea of it was teaching the flip side of feminism.
Okay.
Like celebrating men as superior compared to women. But what was surprising actually, and like the reason why what he was saying on why he shouldn't be fired was he believes that controversy is essential for education. So teaching the younger generation now of both sides is critically important for their development as a character. And that's why he created the YouTube video for his students to watch and understand that, okay, no, there is a flip side to feminism. There used to be a time where men were protectors of, or considered protectors of women and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think?
How old are these kids?
How old are the kids?
Yeah.
That's a good shout.
Because I think I spoke about this with Yasin the other day, and he made a very good point. It's that sometimes kids just have to be told the right answer, and then let them work out what they want later on. So I think on a point like this, I think especially if they're quite young kids, I feel like this isn't something that you should tell them.
It was for students preparing for their sixth form.
Okay.
He had prepared for sixth form.
Here's my thing. I reckon you equip the students with the skills to come to a conclusion themselves, and then let them go out and work it out for themselves.
Yeah, but do you think it's misleading for him to be teaching something that controversial?
Yeah, I feel like I didn't know what to talk.
Like, do you reckon he should be fired for it because he's taught like the flip side of it?
I don't know.
Here's the thing. I think what you're saying was his intention.
Yeah.
Sort of like the idea behind like discourse theory and like
Yeah.
critical theory.
Yeah.
Just sort of like in order to actually understand the subject on both sides, and then when you're sort of both sides, you come up with the.
See, yeah.
So if that was his
Intention, then yeah.
What are you, so
I don't know.
This is the thing. Like we'd have to watch the video properly and see because if
What his intention was,
if there were claims that he wants to push this agenda, it's like alright, stop, come on, like we're bigger than that. But I do incredibly agree with the fact that
controversy is essential for education.
Yeah.
Like I'm a firm believer in that actually, because it's like.
But to what extent? To what extent controversy?
That's the thing, to what extent? Because controversy is only dependent on its social surroundings, isn't it?
Yeah,
and we're becoming incredibly, like cancel culture and everything. We're becoming incredibly everything is controversial these days, and some things that are controversial should remain controversial. Don't get me wrong, like a lot of things, as a matter of fact. But then there's certain topics, especially with the way we're leading now, there's going to be a point in which you just can't speak on the matter, and it's like.
But why is that the case?
Even though like I would take a left leaning side. Like, I'm probably like centre left, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's like, I still want to hear both sides as well. I'd always still want to hear both
100%.
sides. Even
But not everyone's as open, because some people, like I would say the extreme left or right, they would hate to hear like what the other side is saying, because anything they say, they'll be like, no, you're offending me. You should get cancelled for it. But it's like on the topic of, so if you're not allowed to teach about the flip side of feminism and stuff, then wouldn't you say it's controversial to teach students about like World War II, what happened then, like with the Nazis and what they did? Like, is it controversial to teach that to students, or
I think it just depends.
or like any historical event, like anything that's happened?
I think it depends
because it's too sensitive, right? Like it is sensitive to Jewish culture if you bring up what happened in World War II.
I think it depends what the bigger picture is.
It is controversial.
It just depends if your intention is to like dehumanize someone, or like I don't know, like take the mick, then it's gonna come across in the content you deliver. But if your intention is to like let people see a different point of view, then it would just come across in the content that you deliver. So I think in this guy's situation, like I don't want, because I've not seen the whole video, so I just don't know why he got fired.
It's definitely it was definitely like the decision should have been based on how the video was framed. Like what perspective is he trying to portray?
Like what was the ulterior
his
motive?
intention?
Is there an ulterior motive there?
Yeah, if there was.
If there's no ulterior motive there, I don't think he should have got fired. Again, he's an educator, and I think especially when you hire educators, you're hiring them when you hire teachers, you're hiring them to educate students, and you need to understand that there will be sometimes there will be a bit of bias there, but it's expected. I think but at the same time, I think the issue here is the fact that he's gone. So has he done this as part of school, or has he done this as like an extracurricular thing?
So I don't know too much into it. I read the article. Yeah. But it was basically he just put up a YouTube video. That was obviously it's on YouTube, so it's publicly accessible for all his students. But it was like, it was just like ideas that men are superior, men were protectors of females. This and that.
It's like his own.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
It is his own thesis. It was definitely his own thesis. It wasn't a part of the curriculum anymore. It was just like a flip side. it was just a flip side of what he was teaching during class, and he just wanted to bring up the flip side. Because he believes that controversy is essential to developing a young person in the education system.
Because with schools like Eton, they have very like specialized curriculums. The only reason why I can see this is like resulting in getting fired is what he was teaching them was in direct contrast to what Eton is trying to teach these students. And because he's bypassed the curriculum and he decided to do this online, and he told his students to go watch this. So it's like he's bypassed the entire system, and off that basis alone, I reckon, because it could have a lot of negative like PR. Effect on
true.
So that's the thing. Like, question: is he getting fired 3 years ago?
That's also a good question as well. Is he getting fired 3 years ago?
I think he would be.
Because the concept of cancel culture is something that's come up in today's age, like probably the last year maybe, that cancel culture is really taking like strength. Though if you say something really controversial, then you're bound to get cancelled for it. But yeah, like his main argument, the teacher's main argument was controversy is essential for education, but it can't be executed in today's age because of the fear of cancel culture.
Here's the thing, like, you know what it is? The problem is, it's not, I don't think necessarily a problem what, the thing is with cancel culture is, there's a huge mob mentality part of it, and it's like, it's being regulated by the mob, so it's like, the best way I can think of putting it is, you've unlocked Pandora's box, and it's out of there and it's out of control, and you can't bring it back in. It's either you ignore everything or you go after everything, or a lot of people do, they let something slide and they just go after some other stuff, and you're always gonna have imbalance. Like, it's out there and people are it's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
5 minutes left.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to do a bit more research into it to
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, that's the whole thing with cancel culture. Is like, typically, you should think in a manner that aligns with not being cancelled.
Yeah.
And I assume most of us do. Like, we not like, I've had conversations with everyone, we wouldn't be cancelled over shit we say.
Yeah.
Because we agree. But while we agree that, I'm pretty sure we can all recognise that, like, someone shouldn't be shut out because of an opinion. Like, I don't want to be like, and this is something I see in history seminars all the time, yeah. It's like, everyone is so agreeable. And it's like, bro, just for fun. Or even like, not even for fun, but like, for base, like, to develop your own argument, find a counter.
Yeah.
Like, that concept of thinking differently.
Yeah.
That's why I don't get how people can't do. You
Yeah.
can't think like, right, think like this. Obviously, there's some topics that when it gets, and so especially socially, it gets to a point. It's like, yo, just
It's too sensitive. It's too sensitive.
Yeah, it's not because it's too sensitive. It's like, come on now. It's like like so BLM. It's like we're still talking about whether BLM is a thing, even though this was discussed years ago.
Yeah, true.
You know, this was, and it's like, it's now, even with all the police brutality and everything, it's like, it's come back to this circle of people ignoring, like, just BLM and what it's meaning. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, what can you do?
It's
What can you do? It's,
I do think it's definitely an upside, though, sort of like holding people to account.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, people should be holding.
Because a lot of the time when people are sort of like cancelled, they just come out and say something like so out of turn and outlandish that didn't need to be said. Didn't need to be said.
That voice crack was
Lucky
lovely.
Yeah.
No one needs to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a few days ago, one of the cast members of Mandalorian got fired.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
They liken being a Republican to being a Jew in today.
Yeah.
Like,
I actually saw that.
like something like that.
That was crazy.
Yeah, like how can you say something is stupid and not expect to face some kind of repercussion?
You know what I mean? Like, and like, okay, even if you do have that opinion, which you shouldn't, but like, why would you say it? Like, why would you
You're literally on a Disney show. Doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would you genuinely say that?
But yeah, no, there is definitely an upside. It's just, there's the upside, then it's like, where does it go from here? Does it only keep getting fucking bigger?
That's the
bigger?
thing. It's like you've unleashed it, and it's like you can't bring it back in. Because it's like it's mob mentality, and it's like now that people, because you know what, I think it was about time, because especially in a lot of industries, there's a lot of people out there who were like taking advantage of a lot of people and for a lot of different things, and it's a lot of people holding like, a lot of like negative opinions. Now that you've got this, these people can be held accountable, but then at the same time, like there's like a lot of softer opinions people are getting cancelled for those as well. It's like, where do you draw the line? Can you draw a line?
Now, on the topic of, you're saying why would he say it, but then his first argument would be, free speech. That's it.
Yeah.
Free speech. I feel like that's how a lot of racist comment get passed under the blanket. Because
Facebook done it for all these years.
Free speech.
They literally let Donald Trump run rampant because it was free speech. Until it was like
economically and politically very misleading.
Like fair enough.
And violence provoking.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to.
Free speech is a fair argument. It's just like, come on, man. Do you know what I mean? Like free speech, but be smart with it. Like, that's it. Like
free speech.
Republicans to people who are gas.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, you know what it is. Now that I think about it at the same time, I think it's one of those things. I think I'm glad that's happened because now people should hopefully think more carefully about what they say and what opinions they have.
Definitely.
I'm definitely like more conscious about like about the opinions that I have nowadays, and I try to be more willing to learn other people's perspectives as well. And I think that's a good thing that's happened out of all of this, is that everyone's a bit more open-minded,
a bit more sympathetic.
Definitely.
I feel like the underlying theme when it comes to free speech is, if you're using your free speech to take away someone else's freedom, then you're misusing your free speech.
Or subjugate someone else. Definitely.
Like if you're using your free speech just to suppress someone else, you're misusing it, and you're using it wrong. And you should be punished for it because you're using it the wrong way. That's literally like my main underlying theme of free speech. If you're using it to harm someone else's freedom or take away someone else's freedom, you're misusing it.
Yeah, definitely. It's like if you have no intention of like hurting someone, like you've got nothing to be worried about.
Exactly.
Like I think there's this whole argument that sometimes people slip up, but like the slip ups that we're talking about are like stuff that you shouldn't be slipping up on. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, like we won't repeat anything, but especially like remember when the tweets came up, like remember that night, tweets resurfaced.
Oh yeah.
From like loads of Twitter accounts.
Yeah.
Their tweets from like 2013 and 14.
Yeah.
It's like, although they're pulling up stuff from 2013 and 14,
People
some of the
can't
stuff
change
said
the
there
stuff.
was disgusting.
It's
Like it was
disgusting.
actually like,
Yeah.
he was bottom.
And it's like, you know what it is? It's like making
Definitely.
example out of people. It's one of those things that like you have to make example out of people to let other people know that like this can't run.
yeah, that is why I like that night because
Yeah.
it was like everyone's getting exposed. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like you shouldn't be worried unless you got
Unless you
something.
got something.
Unless you got something to say.
Yeah, facts. Like, I
Unless you
understand-
said something wrong.
Yeah, cool. I'm sympathetic to the fact that you may have been like 11, 12 and you wrote some of those things, and then you may have developed, you may have like opened
Yeah.
up, but it's one of those things like you're collateral, and naturally, I'm sorry, you've made it, but there's nothing else you can do about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've got how much time left? It's done.
The
Yeah.
thing is like
we can't end it on that note, but I actually wanted to bring up a very interesting fact. The pineapple one.
Yeah,
You have to talk about the pineapple. Yeah.
pineapple. Did you see this guy's face? Pineapple.
Pineapple.
You know, then I bought cottage cheese.
Yeah.
Then that's
Oh yeah, I bought cottage cheese yesterday. It has
Cottage
chunks
cheese.
in it. I thought it was off. It was pineapple cottage cheese.
Pineapple.
I was disgusted.
Pineapple cottage cheese.
Do you wanna come over and give your opinion on pineapple? Because you've got a very interesting opinion on pineapple.
You
don't
do.
Get me started. We're touching it one day.
One day.
Fair enough.
But here's an interesting fact. Here's an interesting fact about pineapple. Just to leave it on a light note. But did you know when you eat a pineapple, it's actually eating you back?
Yeah.
Because that's why your mouth feels tingly and itchy every time you eat
Yeah.
pineapple. It's because it has an enzyme called bromelain which digests proteins, and since your body and your mouth and tongue is made of proteins, the pineapple is trying to digest you. Every time you eat it, it's trying to digest your tongue and
So
mouth.
wait. Okay.
But when you swallow it, then your stomach acids kill off the enzyme. and
Okay,
then
how about this?
it
Well, I'm gonna
digests.
say we leave a piece in our mouth for like a really long time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Your
Yeah, I was
your
literally
mouth,
gonna say,
your mouth
imagine-
just get really sour. Like it might just get really.
Imagine you went swimming
sour.
in like some very potent pineapple.
really itchy.
What would happen? Would it?
Some very potent pineapple.
You see,
Yeah.
like when they try to like
Or it just eat you up. The river or whatever the swimming pool you're in, just made out of
Pineapple.
pineapple.
Would it break you down?
have you seen like if you leave like just like a really old piece of like beef or lean leaf in pineapple, it literally like breaks it down so
Man.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
if you've just got like a really old cut of beef and it's just dry, then pineapple will leave it in. For, like,
Jesus.
If you leave it for like 2-3 weeks, like it'll just like,
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I didn't know
but
that.
that's an interesting fact for you at home. Pineapple has an enzyme called bromelain, digests your protein. But yeah, it will.
I've been
turn it-
watching so much Vikings recently. The only thing on my
Turn it
mind right now
Vikings.
is like, is that a possible way to kill someone?
Well, using pineapple.
Yeah.
You're devilish, Nate.
Why do you want to know?
You just use pineapple to kill someone. No, but to end it on a light note, what's your favorite fruit? Go-to.
fruit.
Go
Oh, I
to
was thinking about this earlier.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
talking
we
about
talked about this like an hour
Go-to
ago.
fruit.
Yeah.
Go-to fruit.
Mangoes.
Yeah.
I like mangoes.
Both of you mangoes.
I have to do mangoes. It's I think it's like a Bangladesh
Yeah.
thing. Like,
You know, I'm actually controversial, but I actually don't like mangoes.
Yeah, same.
I don't like.
You've not had good mangoes.
No, no. I can't even begin to fathom that.
Yeah, I can't even begin to understand that.
I live in India, yeah. and
Yeah.
I actually don't like mango. I
Granted,
don't like
man.
mango pieces.
Yeah.
But there's
Fresh
something
mangoes.
known as. Have you had Rus? Do you know what mango russes? It's like the pureed version of mango.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. What do you call it?
It's just pulp.
Pulp, yeah. Mango pulp,
okay,
basically.
fair
In
enough,
English
fair
is
enough,
pulp.
fair enough.
But yeah, Rus is actually like I love that.
Yeah.
But mango pieces, I can't fuck with it. Gives me a headache. It's too sweet.
Yeah, but
Listen, no, that's
man.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
Man said he gets headaches.
I don't know
from
why.
sweet stuff.
It's just it's too sweet.
You're actually not surviving out here, Adnan.
Yeah.
Mangoes give you a
But
headache.
then
Yeah,
it's
honestly.
weird because my favorite fruit is strawberries, and strawberries is equally as sweet
Yeah.
as mangoes, you would say. But yeah, strawberries are my favorite fruit.
I feel like
Super
it comes
fresh.
from privilege.
That's
man.
controversial.
What do you mean it's privileged?
How can you not like mangoes? Not liking mangoes is privilege. Like,
No, because the strawberry clout has gone down, though, hasn't it? Like recently.
Yeah, true.
Because like people started exposing it, like the actual fruit doesn't taste.
The actual fruit doesn't taste good.
It's
It's just
the
strawberry
sugar in
flavored stuff
Yeah.
that tastes
the middle. And
amazing.
it's like there's sugar in the middle of
yeah.
like if you open up a
Yeah.
thing, you just see.
Strawberry.
there's
You know,
sugar
in my
in
entire lifetime, I reckon I've had less than 10 strawberries. Like actual strawberries.
That's cap.
No,
Starving.
Straight cap. Straight cap.
No, on my life, I just don't like strawberries. Half the time they've been chocolate covered strawberries as well.
You probably got on like a fucking waffle from Sweet Spot. Probably got a
Straight
waffle
cap.
from Sweet Spot with strawberries.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. But like actual, okay, yeah,
Like an actual.
yeah. Like gone out of my way. No, yeah, okay. In that sense, I have, but like actually gone out of my way.
That's
to
like 10
have a
strawberries.
strawberry
in
just by itself.
2 days.
That's you need to get on your strawberries.
I don't know. I just don't like strawberries.
Yeah, strawberries. And what's your worst fruit?
My worst fruit.
You hate it. Can't stand it.
Oh, what's
Makes you sick. For me, it's
Pineapple, kiwi.
Kiwi. I don't understand kiwi.
kiwi.
No.
Kiwi is so dead.
Kiwi, you're bugging.
Kiwi is.
Nice, bare, like,
No, no.
your tongue and your lips sting for some reason. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, probably has the
Maybe
enzyme.
yours.
Probably has bromelain.
I don't know.
Yeah, kiwi, pineapple. Worst fruit.
What's fruit, yeah? Mango.
That was Denizan, by the way. That was Denizan. That was Denizan.
We've been living for 2 years.
Okay, mango. Whoa, what about you? Worst fruit? Kiwi.
Yeah.
Yeah, kiwi.
Yeah, kiwi.
Kiwi.
That's probably like an apple, so isn't it?
An
No, like
apple?
apples are calm. It's just so basic.
Yeah,
It's
so
just an
basic.
apple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, fact.
Bad orange. The worst.
Bad orange.
Bad orange.
Yeah, like a dry sour.
You know what the worst fruit is? It's papaya.
No.
Which one's papaya?
The thing is, I hate that.
Papaya.
Ooh, that's kind of a good shot.
Papaya.
You hear that?
And this is not cap. Papaya literally tastes like it tastes like you've thrown up.
I forgot what papaya
To
tastes
some
like.
extent, sometimes it tastes amazing.
Yeah, that is
Nah.
facts. Like sometimes
Papaya
it
just stinks. I hate it.
But like,
It's just, you need to find the perfect day where it's ripened.
yeah. It's got to be a nice cold one. Like
Papaya. Yeah, papaya is definitely my worst.
Have any of
fruit.
you man had
Hate
jackfruit
it.
before?
Love jackfruit.
Jackfruit is sick.
Jackfruit's the one.
Yeah.
You just peel it off and then.
Yeah,
Well, what do you man think of the smell? Can you get past the smell of jackfruit?
yeah, I can.
Yeah, it tastes nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a meat substitute.
Yeah.
Like, I thought jackfruit was like barbecued and stuff. And like, meat
Yeah.
substitute.
Yeah, it is, isn't
Like,
it?
it's
Like you put as
No, I've
pizza
seen it
toppings.
before.
Yeah.
That's why jackfruit's a pizza topping as well. It's a pizza topping.
Oh, there you go. You
It's
happy?
like a
So
vegan pizza
pineapple's not
topping,
the
yeah.
only fruit that's been thrown on everything.
Yeah, but you're still trying to. Pineapple came in his cottage cheese. Not papaya.
Yeah.
Papaya, what are you?
Pineapple and pizza is still elite though.
Yeah.
There is
facts.
Elite combination, pineapple and pizza.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's beautiful.
Irrespective of whatever the internet says, and it says, "Oh, it's looked down upon."
It's overhated.
Pineapple and
It's
pizza.
Overhated.
Overhated.
It's like salad. It's overhated.
overloved.
Nah, it's not overloved.
It's not
Pineapple and pizza.
Pineapple and pizza.
It's hated. Pineapple and pizza is hated.
Domino's, you got meat.
Yeah, but I'm never gonna go out my way to get pineapple.
I got pineapple on my pizza. I got pineapple on my pizza last time. at the
I
Domino's.
got a fucking margarita. Yes.
You ain't got money for me, too. Yeah.
Should we call it there?
Call it there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sif, for coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
And
having me.
next week we'll be back behind the camera and probably Hamoud or Dennis will be on.
Yeah. Come on.
We'll decide.
Yeah.
But yeah,
As always, like whatever you guys want, let us know if you have any feedback. Drop in the comments, etc.
yeah, defo.
Yeah, like let us know about the camera angles.
Yeah,
and everything.
definitely.
Let us know about the camera angles. Let us know about the topics we spoke about. What your thoughts are.
Facts.
Topics that you want us to discuss. Also, make sure you check out this camera. Make sure you check out our Instagram and TikTok pages because we post like just
Some clips
short
on
clips
there.
of
There'll be
like
some
funny
behind the
clips,
scenes
short
on there
clips of our podcast. So make sure you check that out. But yeah, as always, leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Keep sharing the video. Keep sharing the channel with people that you know. We'll really appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see you next Wednesday.
Yeah. Next Wednesday.
That's it.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.